So right now we are going to present our game that we made for our computer graphic final project. So we are from group 2 and our member consists of me, Dyatmika, and Cason. Our responsibilities when we made the game was that Cason was in charge of making the front end of the game, such as the models, textures, and graphical user interface. And I am in charge of the back end of the game, such as the gameplay mechanics and the physics. So our, our game is called the Furious Farmer. The story is that the game is about a farmer who is harvesting his apples. Unfortunately, some of his apples turn out to be too small, and the farmer becomes enraged and decides to throw the apple into the basket instead of placing them into the basket carefully. After the first few throws, the wind suddenly starts to become stronger, making the throws more challenging. The furious farmer slowly starts to enjoy throwing the apples and decides to count how many he can get in. The more he misses though, the more furious he will get. So after the farmer misses more than 5 times, he will lose his patience and stop throwing the apples. Next, we will explain the game. The gameplay mechanics will be explained by Jason.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the gameplay. So this is the screen you first see if you start the game. And then if you can see from the graphical user interface, on the left top corner you have the score and the win. And on the right top you have the life, which is equal to 5, which is basically the amount of throws the farmer can miss before he gets to furious. And then under that there's the power, which will show the power of the throw. And then if you can see in the distance, there is the skybox for the game. And then there's the ground, which is covered in the grass texture. So there we have the basket model. The basket model we made using Blender and exported it to a Babylon file so we can include it in the game. The same with the apples inside the basket and the apple model. And if you notice, the apple we are shooting here is much smaller compared to the apple in the basket, which is why the farmer in the story is furious, because the apples are small. So now we are going to go on to the gameplay mechanics. As you can see, there is the background music in the background for the game. Yes. And then if you throw the apple and you miss, as you can see, there is physics. So like the ball will hit the bucket. If the ball hits the bucket, the score will not count. And then if you reset, which I did by pressing R, your life will be deducted by 1 and the win will be randomly generated. Like every time you reset the ball, there's the chance of the win changing is 60%. The win can change from -10 to +10, and negative means that the wind will be blowing to the left side, and positive value means that the wind will be blowing to the right side. Moving on, the physics engine we use is Canon.js, and the other controls for the game are A for making the arrow go to the left, D for making the arrow go to the right, W for aiming higher, and S for aiming lower. Other controls are space for powers, and as I told you earlier, R to reset the ball. So applying power in this game, we basically just apply the impulse to the apple according to the direction of the arrow. And then now I'm going to show you what happens if you score. This game is quite challenging, so scoring might not be that easy. So if your life gets reduced until it's 0, it will show you your final score and bring you to the game over screen, and then it will allow you to play a new game. So back to trying to score. So if you score, your score will be added by 1 each time you score, and your luck will not be deducted. So with this mechanism, try to score as much as you can. That is the goal of this game. So that is the end of the presentation about the gameplay, and thank you.